motion. I agreed, we agreed, and my rationale for that was that I did some research about the lifetime of compressors, and generally they're talking 15 years. So I'm always conservative, so let's call it 10. We've got a little under 5 out of it. That means we have half the lifetime of the rest of the components. The most typical failure in a did I say compressor? I meant unit. In a unit, a 30,000 unit is the compressor. So the thing that most often gives trouble is the thing of replacing. If we go with a 30 to 40 on the new units, then we're leaving more than half the value of the item. And it's kind of similar to if you got a car and the tranny goes out, and you got to say, how old's the car? The 15-year-old car, and it's a $9,000 transmission. No. If it's a 4-year-old car, yes. Yeah, that's my rationale. And it sounds like the Shenandoah's idea about, yes, square footage says 7.5 tons, but use says larger. And that was where the other things like having to change out the ducts also would be like 7.5. And I talked around, and Shenandoah has a great reputation.
And one question, so the other folks did not bid just on compressor, they were recommending a full system.
Right, at 7.5 ton, which included, changing the base that it sits on up there. I mean, there's a lot of changes to change to a 7.5, when ultimately down the road, it's not going to be satisfied with the output for the use of that building. So I did try to negotiate a little bit with Shenandoah to see if we could get some kind of
Yeah. So theoretically, then we should be able to get the full life of the unit by just replacing the compressor. So we should be able to get the maximum.
Right.
Or something close to it.
Okay.
The other money in the whole unit is in electronic items.
Mm-hmm.
And those typically, unless you have some temperature problems, are less prone to failure than the more moving item, which is the compressor.
Just for my awareness, there's this unit which deals with the post office and a separate unit that deals with the town offices.
2 units on the roof with up here, one for this section, one for that section over there.
And if the thought was a power surge caused damage there, should we be looking at a power protection for this system as well?
Well, that was one of our questions we had, but we thought tonight we would focus on getting the post office up and running. Then maybe that's something that Budget and Finance might want to consider, because you're looking at 3 other units, because there was a unit for the place for the liquor store.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so we have some further investigation to do, but yes, we did consider that.
And by the way, we are prepared at Sunbelt Rental this week and the following week. If it gets outrageous, we are prepared to bring in an affordably large AC unit, and we can hook that up, and it's somewhere around $400 or $500. I can do that in an emergency authority. I need to go on that, but we're going to try to hold off on that. But if it that's outrageous, then we have to do it, because if you've been down there, there is no windows, there's nothing. It's brutal. It's like a sauna. It's okay right now.
If all the work is done manually, there's no, you see on TV, how the mount gets moved through the belt. It's all moving. And the trucks that come in and out all day.
Just another clarification, what is the timeline from Shenandoah to do the compressor
We're
change?
looking at possibly 10 days between them. As soon as they order it, it gets in.
Okay.
Got a motion? A motion to accept Pat Morrison's proposal to replace the air conditioner and install surge protectors, and for the total amount of $10,182.
I would suggest
I'm coming to that. Thank you. And 8 cents. And you were going to suggest something above how much?
have it be up to
Put some padding.
a little padding. So either to 10.5 or maybe 11.
11,
Up to 11.
up to 11
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to accept the bid for, not to exceed $11,000 for compressor for the HVAC for the post office. I have a second from Chris, discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion. That passes unanimously 6-0. Item number 2.
Thank you. I'll make sure that gets.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you, Patty, and thank you.
Yeah,
Bill.
thanks for
How about sooner?
running on that.
Discussion action regarding request for waiver of required fees for extension of existing customer service lines. I have full disclosure on a member of the Harper Cemetery Board of Trustees, so I'm going to recuse myself from this. And Nina would just take.
Yeah, I believe, Mike, you've got something that you wanted to share regarding this?
We had 2 requests come to the water commission a while back.
Come sit on this chair here.
One of them is a resident who has 2 properties and a garage that he has converted into a rental unit. And 7 years ago, he took the water line and it extended the water line into the rental unit. And it's an illegal tap, right? It's an illegal box. And
But what,
I mean. You are having that.
yeah, we could head into executive session if we think that there's personal information that might be shared.
Well, I wasn't going to use names, but
Does this fall under executive session?
I
If it-
kind of,
I think it does.
I think,
Although I'm not sure whether any motion would have to have the name.
But we have to have a copy address.
Let's, maybe we just had an executive session just to be safe and then we can see that if you all.
Yeah, we should cite which part of executive session. Okay. Well, if they both fall under it, then we should.
So,
Be legal. Legal or customer.
Like divulging.
Right here, I think 9, involving effective purchase of property, advanced construction planning.
well, it does have to do with planning on how you want to function.
you know, flush my eye for a second.
It could also potentially be 6.
Sounds weird, but
Right, individual policies such as.
Yes, okay, so that's 6. Okay.
That's it, because something did.
6, 9, 8.
Or.
B, is it B or B6?
These things.
Okay. All right, okay, we go. For the second to return.
So when are we sending people back to the village at?
Around it next year, to the surface, 2, maybe 3 years from now.
Wow.
All right. Now that everyone's back, I move to start executive session under 6-9A-4BB6. With,
Second.
all right, any discussion on that? Oh, and with, I guess I'll make an amendment to that, with Mike Rock present and Deb Kelly present. Okay, just Mike Rock present, all right. All right, all those in favor? Okay, all those opposed?
excuse me.
Before,
But
before the motion, want to ask the finance officer a couple of questions.
We gotta wait till the mayor leaves.
We're out.
We're out, we're out.
But we'll wait. Because somebody shouldn't deliberate.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Yep.
We are contemplating Harper's Ferry covering the tap fee for Harper's Cemetery. And that it would come out of Arts and Humanities Historic. Is that possible?
in the amount 2925.00.
Curveball. Or if not, from that fund.
Purpose of the town is for work of historic conservation.
Yes.
Correct.
Reasonable.
I guess the question is, we have the budget too.
Well, is it though?
As long as after use one,
That's literally what it's for.
Well, yes, because that specific water is going to be used for the purpose
Cleaning of
of
the graves.
maintaining the cemetery.
raising the tap fee to equal the comfortable.
Correct.
No steps involved.
Yeah.
Except in your wallet.
So
Punch in the credit card here. Alexis, do I have 2925?
Alexa.
Alexa,
Alexis is close.
When are we putting a man on Mars?
Too hard to tell. I was just in Houston this past week. We were practicing for the moon. We had astronauts out in the desert in Arizona, and we were in mission control. And it was something to see. So I think we're ready. It's just figuring out the pieces that have been outsourced to private industry, how to get there, which that's our big delay right now. But we're getting there.
It's pretty exciting to get to be involved in that.
Yep, it was one of the coolest things I've done.
How are we gonna beat the Chinese to the moon?
Again,
That's a hard question. I think so. But I don't know the status of their program. Yeah.
You know, the Chinese have invested very heavily in engineering education.
Mm-hmm.
They just got tons of engineers, and they go into the sector and they say, we're gonna do a joint venture with an OECD multinational, we're gonna learn the technology, and then we're gonna pick them up.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna produce excess capacity, and we're gonna export all the excess capacity. That's happening in cement and steel. Where they now make the equipment to make cement plants and steel plants, and they're exporting all them all over the world. And they beat the OECD makers of those technologies because their engineering is cheaper.
What did you learn?
okay,
you have the money.
all right. I move to allocate and distribute $2,925 out of 402-906 Arts and Humanities Historic Preservation to Harper's Ferry Waterworks for the installation of a metered water line at Harper's Cemetery. Is that right?
And a
Deb?
spigot
And Spigot. Is there,
with a lot.
That was gonna be my question. Do we want to add a phrase specifically or exclusively for the use of historic preservation, or without having to say?
Spigot and a lock.
exclusively
For the-
their uses.
for the exclusive, it's to be used exclusively for historic preservation purposes at the cemetery. Yes.
And beautification. I mean, what if they desperately need to water,
Historic preservation.
and that's included in,
But say for use is consistent with 906.
Yes.
historic preservation and beautification.
We've got a second on that.
And, right, I'm gonna read it again, just
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Move to allocate and distribute $2,925 to Harpers Ferry Waterworks for the installation of a metered water line with spigot and lock at Harpers Cemetery to be used exclusively for uses consistent with 906.
Sounds good. Does the second accept the amendment?
Second accepts.
All right. All those in favor, or guess discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? All right, passes unanimously. We have
Noting,
I make a motion to adjourn.
well, unanimously noting one absent. and
One
one
absent.
recused.
one recused. All right, move to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All right,
Okay.
I think all those in favor. All right, we adjourn.